And welcome back to Entomorph. And I'm off to the jungle to find the rebel base and possibly my sister Suliana. And there's another nasty orchid. Let's try and punch it. This cave here looks interesting, but I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. The woman in town said to follow the path. And go to the right here. And find the sign with the green beetle. And hey, there it is. So we go north from here. And just take out another orchid. Oh, what do you know? It's some kind of wooden elevator. What was that about my sister's biceps? Okay. So Suliana should be around here somewhere. Well, that's a pretty transparent method of making you talk to characters, but okay. I'll just act enthusiastic and maybe they'll help me out. Okay, success. Finally.
Squire Warrick and Suliana rejoiced upon their reunion, but they still stood directly in the looming shadow of danger.
I knew he'd find her. I'm so happy.
Their dangerous quest is only beginning. There are many more chapters of this tale yet to write.
I'm just gonna try and keep the dialogue a bit short here. Not really. But alright. Yes, please. So that's what the parchment in the House of the Nobles in Saltmoon meant. The Jacktera haven't returned, but the people of Foros are being turned into Jacktera by the Nectar. Hand over the Nectar. I could just keep it in my inventory for now, but I'll just go ahead and drink it.
Bravely, Squire Warrick decided to undertake the perilous mission himself. With fire racing through his body from the Nectar, he stood ready to face the coming challenges.
Guess I'd better follow in my sister's footsteps and see what I can do for the rebels. I put in an extra bit here where I asked the rebel leader Kalman about the Jacktera hives or nests, because he will actually tell you about the 4 major Jacktera nests on the island, which basically spells out your targets for the rest of the game. So, the Nectar. The game heavily implies that it makes you stronger, but I don't really notice if it makes your punches stronger or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it's just a life potion. And but I'm pretty sure that whole makes you stronger bit is just for the story, and in reality it's just for recharging life. Ooh, and here's a red slasher. It's much like the red Munchers, but much stronger and does quite a bit more damage. So I'm lucky to get this one down as quick as I can. Till I get a bit stronger, the red slashers are best avoided where possible. Ah, here we go. This must be Zizou. Or not. sign with the white moth on it. I passed by that cave earlier. Okay, so it's Grub Cave and the Felid Fortress, or Stronghold. We'll check out the cave first. We got some Munchers. Ooh, and they're hurting me already. I better heal up a bit. I'm completely out of mana now. In situations like this, it's best to lure the Jactar away a bit and try and punch and run back. The grubs are harmless, but there's no point in trying to kill all of them. There's no reward or anything. I'm gonna try and take care of this red slasher with care. Alright, that didn't go too badly. And it's a child's toy. I hate to think how that got here. But anyway, now I can go back to Salt Moon and give that to Lady Colfina, so she'll teach me the Pledge of Foros. And you don't have to sit here and watch me walk back to Salt Moon. Yeah, this is some highbrow adventuring. Okay, that's one. And then there's the business of the orchids I've picked for her. I believe I already introduced myself earlier, but whatever. And here we go. The annoying thing with Lady Colfina is that she kind of goes through this conversation loop about orchids. No matter what you say, if you try to stop talking to her, she will always want one of your orchids. And if you don't give it to her, she gets angry. And after you give her 3 orchids, she'll stop talking to you until you leave the screen and come back. Kind of a bit of annoying scripting, but... well. And what's the purpose of giving her all these orchids? Well, you'll see in a moment. And here we go again. I'll click through this a bit faster because it's just the same text again. And here's why I'm doing all this. She has some more nectar for me. So since I've given her 3 orchids, she now won't speak to me anymore until I leave the screen. So I'm just gonna skip over a bit where I first rested up to heal my life and recharge my mana, and left the screen for a moment and came back. Finally, she gives me the nectar. For now, it's off to the Felid stronghold. But first, to say the Farovian pledge and get my nectar from the nobles. And there it is. So I'm just gonna keep that in my inventory until I need some emergency healing. Back into the jungle we go, and off to the Felid stronghold to meet some giant ants.